The brain reacts to a number of signals from different parts in your body to keep it in balance. One of the ways is from the fluid located in the inner ear. The brain can tell a lot by how the fluid in your ear is moving. The brain also uses your eyes and sense of touch to determine your balance and position. For example, when you spin really fast and then stop, the fluid in your ear is still spinning, but your eyes and body have stopped moving. Your brain gets different, incompatible signals, so it gets confused for a bit. That's why you feel dizzy. More and more people have diabetes nowadays. Diabetes is a disease that causes a person to have high blood sugar. Over time, high blood sugar can do harm to inner organs such as the kidneys and heart. The damage done to the nerves and blood vessels can make people blind. In extreme cases, the patients may even need to cut off their body parts. However, there are more ways to treat it. Many people are able to use insulin pumps to automatically deliver insulin. They still have to test their blood sugar and give the pump instructions, but they don't have to do shots all the time. Also, once a person has the disease, they will have it for their whole life. There is no cure. Cancer is a disease caused by cells that grow uncontrollably. Abnormal cells begin to multiply and create tumors. They can spread throughout the body and slowly destroy good cells and tissues. This process makes people seriously ill. There are more than 200 different types of cancer. Typically, cancers are named after the place in the body where the cancer cell first began. The most common types are breast cancer, colon cancer, lung cancer, and pancreatic cancer. Many types of cancer can be treated and even cured by surgery, chemotherapy, or radiation. There are also ways to avoid it. We need nutrition for our physical growth. Kids' bodies need nutrition to grow strong, healthy bones and muscles. If you don't get all the vitamins and minerals you need while you are growing, you won't be as tall and as strong as you could be. Speaking of nutrition, calories are a measure of how much energy is in food. When we eat, we gain calories, and it gives us energy to do the things we want. If we eat more calories than we use, then our body stores up the calories in fat, so we will be overweight. If we use more calories than we take in, then our body will start to burn up fat that was stored earlier. Many people lose weight this way. Bacteria are very small organisms that are everywhere on Earth. They can't be seen with the naked eye because they are so small, but they are in the air, on our skin, in our bodies, and in the ground. Actually, most bacteria are very useful. They play an important role in the planet's ecosystem, as well as in human survival. Bacteria is used to make foods such as yogurt, cheese, pickles, and soy sauce. Inside our bodies, bacteria helps us digest and break down our food. Some bacteria can also help our immune system, protecting us from certain harmful organisms. Mark Twain is a famous writer worldwide. His real name is Samuel. At a young age, Samuel quit school and went to work in a printer to support his family. It was there that he learned about writing. Twain's most famous books are The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Twain's love for adventure and risk got him into financial trouble later in life. He invested into businesses, but all of them failed. In order to pay the bills, he traveled around the world giving lectures and speeches. They were very popular, and eventually he managed to pay off his debts. airplane. They were the first to make a successful human flight with a craft, which completely changed the way people traveled throughout the world. Trips that previously would have taken months by boat and train can now be traveled by plane in a few hours. Although the first flight lasted just 12 seconds, it wasn't easy. The brothers had worked for years with gliders and the wing design and controls. Then they had to learn how to make propellers and a proper engine for the flight. There was a lot of technology, know-how, and courage involved in making that first. Isaac Newton was born in England. When he was young, he attended college at Cambridge. He would spend much of his life at Cambridge, becoming a professor of mathematics. He is most famous for his theories on calculus, gravity, and the laws of motion. His theory about gravity helped to explain the movements and the attraction of the planets and the sun. This theory is known today as Newton's law of universal gravitation. Newton's laws of motion were three fundamental laws of physics that laid the foundation for classical mechanics. He is one of the most influential writers of all time. Galileo was born in Italy. At first, he wanted to become a doctor, so he went to the University of Pisa to study medicine. While at university, Galileo was interested in physics and mathematics. Galileo studied Copernicus's work and supported the view that the sun was the center of the universe. Most people at that time disagreed with him. He decided to build his own telescope to observe more celestial bodies. He made great improvements to the telescope to watch things clearer. He also discovered sunspots, 4 satellites of Saturn, and learned that the moon was not smooth, but had a lot of craters. Because he supported the view that the sun was in the center, people put him under arrest. Towards the end of his life, he became blind, but still made a lot of scientific study. Once upon a time, the world was full of animals. Only a few men and women were there, and they had to struggle and fight for their survival. Among them, there was a clever man who always had the best ideas. One day, he created a machine with wood and stones, and explained to the others how to use it to hunt animals easily. They used it and hunted so many animals that they needed to put them all in a big hole on the floor, covered with palm tree leaves, and they ate meat for the whole year. A little child wanted to play piano, but he did not know how to do it. Every single day, when he was coming back from school, he stopped in front of a music instruments shop and stood up staring at the piano that was there for sale. One day, the seller called him to come into the shop. The boy obeyed and went into the shop, and the seller sat beside him and taught him how to play piano. Since then, they have been good friends. The child learned to play piano, and he joined a classical music band some years later. In theory, capitalism is the free market system. The free in free market system means that the market is not under government control. It operates naturally the way it is. Depending on the demand and supply, businesses can decide what products to make and how much to sell them for. People can decide what products to buy and how much they want to pay. Today, many countries have a capitalist economy, but the government still takes an active role in stabilizing the economy and issuing laws to protect the public. This type of economy is called a mixed economy. Banks play an essential role in maintaining and developing any economy. They help money flow smoothly. On one hand, banks provide the service for individuals who have money but don't know what to do with it. The bank keeps people's savings safe. On the other hand, they use that money to invest. It helps people who do not have enough money to buy houses, properties, and start businesses. Banks are an essential part of the modern economy. Money kept in the bank is completely safe. Most bank deposits are protected by the government. In case they go bankrupt, there is always money to return to people who deposit. Banks play an essential role in maintaining and developing any economy. They help money flow smoothly. On one hand, banks provide the service for individuals who have money but don't know what to do with it. The bank keeps people's savings safe. On the other hand, they use that money to invest. It helps people who do not have enough money to buy houses, properties, and start businesses. Banks are an essential part of the modern economy. Money kept in the bank is completely safe. Most bank deposits are protected by the government. In case they go bankrupt, there is always money to return to people who deposit. New bills are designed by artists at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. First, they draw out some sketches with different ideas. They work hard on creating a worthwhile image that will show the power of the country. They then put anti-counterfeit measures into the design that will prevent those with bad intentions from being able to copy the bill. The final design must be approved by the Secretary of the Treasury. Normally, the paper money is durable. It can be folded back and forth around 4,000 times before it will rip. The average life for a bill varies depending on its value. New bills are designed by artists at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. First, they draw out some sketches with different ideas. They work hard on creating a worthwhile image that will show the power of the country. They then put anti-counterfeit measures into the design that will prevent those with bad intentions from being able to copy the bill. The final design must be approved by the Secretary of the Treasury. Normally, the paper money is durable. It can be folded back and forth around 4,000 times before it will rip. The average life for a bill varies depending on its value. Although people nowadays are afraid of fat, fat is extremely necessary. We couldn't live without some fats in our diet. There are two major types of fats: saturated fats and unsaturated fats. Saturated fats come from foods like red meat, cheese, and butter. Saturated fats are sometimes called bad fats because they have been known to cause high cholesterol, block arteries, block blood circulation, and even increase the risk of getting some cancers. Unsaturated fats come from foods like peas, vegetables, and fish. Unsaturated fats are considered much better for you than saturated fats and are sometimes called good fats. The skeleton is all the bones in our body tied together. The skeleton provides structure to our body so we can move easily. In total, we have 206 bones in our body. Each bone has a function. Some bones give shelter to softer, more vulnerable parts of the body. For example, the skull protects the brain, and the ribs help to protect our inner organs, such as our heart and lungs. Other bones, like bones in our legs and arms, help us move around by giving support for our muscles. Around 70% of your bones are not living tissue, but hard minerals like calcium. That's why we need calcium for bones to develop. A decent percentage of the bone is from water, too. The brain is where the thinking process takes place. Thanks to it, we can experience the outside world. We can have memory, have feelings, solve problems, calculate, do math, take caution, worry, all thanks thanks to our brain. Speaking of its components, the brain is a ball of matter. The brain is protected by a hard skull. It is part of the nervous system. The brain connects to nerves that travel throughout the body. It receives signals through our senses, hearing, smelling, seeing, and more. From that, the brain knows what it is going on in the outside world. The brain also sends signals using nerves to muscles so that we can interact with the outer world. It's the brain that defines who we are.